Hello, everyone. Welcome to Highly Intelligent. I'm Jared,
And I'm Caleb.
and he did that 2 times in a row. We usually alternate, but I'm doing it this time and next time.
Mm-hmm.
Today
yeah.
we have a microphone.
We do have a microphone. It's way better quality than
Yes.
just a cell phone that we place wherever we want to and hear that echo all
Yeah.
throughout the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure everybody loves to listen to that.
And we're also like an hour away from our band concert. And the reason we have a microphone is because our band director, Mr. Miller, was so generous as to help us out, and he let us use a Snowball Blue microphone, and we're recording from one of the school computers.
So thank you, Mr. Miller. We appreciate you if you ever happen to listen to this.
Yeah.
Which we hope you don't, but on the off chance you do.
Yeah. So we have it's kind of strange that we decided to pick the music topic on the day of our band concert. Whoa.
That's crazy. Like, coincidence?
Such a coincidence. Dang. And we're both in suits right now. You can't see us, but we're in suits.
Yeah, I am sweating. This blazer is really hot and really big.
And a funny story about the Blazers. At our homecoming, he took mine and I took his, and then we just switched back today.
Yeah.
And that was like 2 weeks ago. 2 months ago.
Yeah. I really hope you don't have body lice, because if you do, now I do.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Body
lice exist. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, body lice they're like lice, but they live in people's clothes when they take them off, and then when people like put them on or like go to sleep, the lice come out and bite the people while they're wearing the clothes.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Fun facts. It has nothing to do with the podcast, but
All right.
yeah, so I'm saying I hope you don't have those, but I'm guessing you don't because you don't know about them.
All right, so
yeah, today we're talking about music again.
Yeah.
So we're going to be discussing a few things about music and just its relation to humans, because humans are, I feel like we kind of created music in a sense, at least our own man-made music.
I mean, I wonder if like aliens were to have music. I mean, it's like enjoying certain sounds.
Right. Well, I'm sure music can be very loosely translated. Like, you could have birds whistling, and that could technically be music.
Yeah.
People talking is music, because we're still alternating the pitches of our voice to translate certain meanings.
And
so
that
in that sense,
could also mean, like, what could you classify as music?
Right.
It can be, like, any sound that is pleasant to someone, I guess. So everyone has a different opinion of music.
Yeah. Have you seen vines of people where they put autotune on their voices, and whenever like the voice gets louder, like the autotune makes it go up, and it actually sounds like a legitimate song? I've seen plenty of those, and they're really interesting.
Yeah. So by going off of what classifies as music, that also goes into different genres of music, and there's like hip hop. Is there a difference between hip hop and rap?
I mean, yes. I don't know. Like, the genres are so big and like so varied. It's so hard to just say that like one is completely different from the other. I feel like there's so much gray between that black and white.
So they're basically the same. Hard to tell, I guess. So there's also like classical and pop.
There's folk.
Could pop be hip hop, which could be rap?
If hip hop is pop, if rap and hip hop are popular, then yes, they're pop, because pop music, popular music.
Then what do you classify as songs that aren't rapping, that are singing?
What do you like?
Like, they aren't. You make the song, and you're not like spitting out bars.
Bars.
Yeah, you're just singing like lyrics. Is that rap?
Rap is its own version of music. Like, there are different styles of it, and like there are different tempos and different precedents, I guess. Like, there are different expectations when you make a rap song than when you make like a country song.
So,
but they're still following the similar rules.
What would you classify that as then?
Country music?
Like all
Just all music?
Yeah, like all music that's not rap music or any other genre, except for like just singing into a microphone, like Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you classify that type of music?
Probably just pop music since it's popular right now. Oh, you're saying like if it wasn't popular
Yeah.
at the time. I guess it would depend on. Well, Beyonce is kind of like it's rappy. It's also kind of hip hoppy,
Yeah.
but it's also like
So-
sometimes it has like that.
Would you
Opera.
say that, like, it could be multiple categories?
Yeah, you can blend categories together.
Yeah.
I think so.
So that could get like super technical if you take a song like I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire by the Ink Spots.
Then you mix it with like Gummo.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Would you classify that as classical? Because it's from like the 60s or.
well, classical is dealing with like the classical period because there was also like the Romance period.
Yeah.
So I guess a lot of music back then depended on the time, and I don't know how we're gonna classify music like 50 years from now if we're just gonna call it like because nowadays we kind of classify that music by just the years it was in, like 1920s jazz. You could say jazz without the 1920s, and people would be like, "Oh, what year?" And so that's kind of how we classify those things.
Isn't it weird how like anyone can just become a rapper?
Mm-hmm. Like if you make a rap sheet, technically you are a rapper. Like if you rap to it and put music on it, like yeah. I guess being a singer can apply to really anyone as long as they sing and put thought into what they're singing about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it classifies a singer or a rapper as in like they make money off of it? Or is it just they make songs?
I think
Because I make songs. Does that make me a rapper?
technically.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of art doesn't make money. Like a lot of artists don't make a lot of money, but then years later, like they get recognized. And we're back. We were rudely interrupted by someone walking into.
And this is our first ever person that's not us on the podcast.
I think so.
Say hello.
Hello.
This is Luke.
Yep.
Luke's cool. We like Luke.
And since we're at our band concert, he just kind of walked in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta get changed.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you guys weren't doing this in the bathroom, maybe we could.
Why couldn't you just do this in the bathroom?
I mean,
You
like,
couldn't change in the bathroom? That's what they're.
I thought the back doors were locked. Like
They're
I
not.
tried.
No?
I tried it. Like I tried to
was
push
able,
in.
I was able to go in like a few minutes ago.
What the hell?
Oh, dang.
Huh.
All right. Well,
Okay.
now we're going to
Well,
talk
anyways.
about music.
Yeah, we're gonna continue talking
Yeah.
about music. So we were talking about artists.
Yeah,
being
like-
yeah, they don't make a lot of money, become
Yeah.
visionaries. What are your thoughts on the people who make outlandish music right now that doesn't really make a lot of sense? Like, do you think they're gonna just be forgotten? Or
Yeah. I feel like right now, if you become popular as a rapper, then you're gonna die out in a few years. Unless you're like one of the OGs like Lil Wayne or Snoop Dogg.
right. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, as a guest,
he's
my
changing
opinion
his
doesn't
pants.
count usually. So
he's changing his pants.
can we not talk about what I'm doing?
All right, continue.
I intentionally went behind this thing so you guys couldn't see my balls out.
Never mind about that.
That's all right.
That's okay.
But
It's
anyway,
just podcast.
my
It's
opinion
podcast.
is that people are they're gonna make the music, and if someone's actually passionate enough about it, they're gonna change what they're doing so people will listen, and then they might go back to what they were saying, and then when people start to be onto their music, they'll hear their old stuff, and they'll be like, man, this guy's really, or girl, is really saying something, and there's a deeper meaning that we have to listen for in all of his music.
Right. So like basically your concept of visionary music, like really artful music, is music that
They're trying
changes how music works in that specific category.
So
Yeah.
like meaningful
yeah.
music is something that like speaks to people and that. Are you saying relatable?
Yeah, they're like I don't know. They're expressing their emotions. That's what I feel like about a lot of music is now. They're trying to express something about them,
Yeah.
Right.
even if they're not outright saying it. And then if someone really connects with it, they'll keep listening.
Yeah.
You're gonna have hundreds upon thousands of people for one person, and they're gonna keep listening.
Yeah. And like that also brings us into like music and its effect on brain and emotion. And like why is it that we enjoy certain sounds put together to make one big sound?
Now, there have actually been a lot of studies on music in terms to it being related is similar to a drug, essentially. Like, I think there's one book, the name of the author, like, I don't remember, but he talked about how, oh, that's your phone going off. But he talked about how people like familiar things, but they also like things that are, like, foreign at times, at certain levels.
It's the different chords, whether they're
Yeah.
harmonic, melodic, or like just me throwing down my music theory stuff. 'cause,
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
right. Yeah, you're probably more
Oh,
qualified
yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about this than we are.
Well, not really. I mean, if you want to know about trinads and ace bedov, kagdafa,
Right.
egba,
Like the creation of music.
yeah, like all the different chords, harmonic, and that sort of stuff. Like I'm your guy. I can tell you the Enter Levy.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about that.
Tell us about some music.
I guess it's
history.
a lot to fit into, like a 15-minute
Yeah, just
recording.
What can I really say?
just sum up like do you know anything about Pythagoras?
Oh Jesus, that was like the first day.
Well, the story was that he was like walking past an anvil shop, right? And he heard like different pitches of the hammer hitting the stone.
The stone and the metal, yeah.
Yeah, and then like it made different sounds.
And then, I believe,
I can tie a tie.
tie.
I can also tie a tie. I tried to tie a tie before
Alright,
coming.
continue.
I don't know. There's just like a lot that goes into it. But there was like the different pitches. There was, I believe there was something with water as well. Do you know what I'm talking
Water?
about? Like, they were hitting the water with different stuff and it made different sounds.
Oh, like different kinds of splashes.
Yeah. Like, up at Cornell, they have those music stones
Oh, yes, I do know what you're talking
where they're like
about.
hollowed out in different spots.
Yeah.
I think they had something with that where the water would hit against it at such force that it would change.
The pitch
sound.
of, yeah. That's really cool. So it's like the whole idea that different spaces create different pitches,
Yeah.
which make different sounds that are pleasant to the human ear.
Mhm.
At least they should be.
I've
never ties done this a bit on long. another
person. Screwed that up. Alright, let me try this again.
You did a tie for me though once at homecoming.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you learned about?
Ooh.
Could you not cough in my face?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have we ever had a podcast where you haven't coughed at some point?
Ugh.
I think every podcast, there's like
Yeah.
at least one part where you just lose.
That's your shit.
Okay, I'm gonna
Basically.
tie this with myself.
It's not gonna be
And
the
then-
same.
and
I'm a
then
lot
I'm-
taller.
Then I'm gonna
Mhm.
take it off. I'm gonna tie it super long.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Okay.
We might have to cut this out.
So, have you learned about like the origin of music?
Greece.
Okay.
They've also dated like German like bone flutes back to the Ice Age. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was pretty like, it was fairly primitive music.
Yeah.
That's a very nice tie, Luke, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom got it for me when me and Erin went to homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Erin. She wore her red dress and I was supposed to,
Match up.
well, I was supposed to wear something that's Spencery and it's black, silver, and red.
Yeah.
So
There's also the writing at the bottom. Does that say
that's a Garcia.
J. Garcia?
Yeah.
Is that the brand?
Yeah, that's the guy. He has like a bunch of ties that I buy.
Oh wow.
That I like him.
Oh no.
Oh.
All right. So,
So
evolution of music.
Oh man.
It starts in Germany. Bone flutes.
bone flutes.
Next step, ancient Greece.
Right. So ancient Greece, like, so they did the stuff with the water, and then they did the stuff with the rocks. And I think
The anvils.
Pythagoras, yeah, and then Pythagoras did something with the lyre where he like cut one of the strings in half, and that made a higher pitched frequency.
Yep.
And then by doing like that and experimenting, he could make like an 8-octave scale. And so that's where all the musical scales that we use today come from.
Fun fact about scales: it's your natural half steps are B and C and E and F.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
So like when you play your the saxophone for the G, it sounds right. But if you were played to F natural or B flat, I believe B flat would diminish it. To make it augmented, you would sharp it. So
Yeah.
like if you changed that, it would be a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's awesome.
God bless Mr. Miller and his music theory class.
It is very useful to this moment today.
Yeah, Mr. Miller, he's taught Luke music theory, and he's also gave us a microphone today.
Yeah, he's just been very
He's
helpful
a very
to this.
generous man.
Yeah.
Very generous.
Honestly, like I have to admire Mr. Miller like every single day that I come in.
He would have been a good guest for this podcast if he wasn't setting up for a concert.
Yeah, I feel he would be interesting to talk about theory and like discuss his actual thoughts about just music in general.
Part 2 question mark?
Who knows?
Maybe music in the future. We could get Mr. Miller up in here.
I feel like that would be a very.
That'd be very difficult to do since he's like,
Yeah.
constantly busy.
I mean, what do you guys have during like your free time? I know he has. If you guys were to come in during,
We can discuss this after the podcast.
well, I was gonna say just while maybe there's a lesson group going on.
Oh, yeah.
You can ask him the questions during then, and he can give you information about it.
Yeah.
Different instruments.
Yeah.
Mhm. So we could like relay it back to here, like write it down and then talk about what he said.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
So, why do people feel nostalgic when they listen to music?
Probably it's the instances that like they experienced, like the whole idea that you associate moments of time with things that you experienced during
Well-
that time. There are people.
More people?
I think so.
Are they coming in here?
No.
Okay.
Well, you want me to go check? Actually,
Maybe.
he's just waiting to go.
Tell her to come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, the whole idea is that when you hear music, your brain, like whatever emotional state it's in at that moment, you'll remember that subconsciously when you hear that music again. So like
And-
if you listen to music when you're in a good mood, then when you listen to that music again, there's probably going to be like good dopamine hormones going on in your brain.
Along with the fact that it's most likely the music you're listening to, if you're in a happy mood, it'll be in a major chord, and if you're in a depressed or a sadder mood,
It's gonna be
it would be in a minor,
Mm-hmm.
because the minor is always known for being the depressing music and sad.
Yeah. How does that apply to Arabic music, which is usually totally different and sounds like a mix of...
That is a harmonic chord because that changes the seventh note on the way up and down.
Mhm.
You do not play the same note.
So
Yeah.
what would it do to the brain?
I guess it
I don't
depends
know.
on-
It just really gives you. I don't think that music really affects you.
Yeah.
I think it can. Well, I feel like it affects them at least. Like depending on where you hear it from. Like sometimes I'll hear certain
when you
like
hear
Arabic
it,
pieces.
most likely you'll be taken back to, like you'll think of Arabian.
Right. Arabian places.
Yeah, like such as Egypt. And
Right. But like going past that, like to base emotions. Like you could like there are some pieces like that make you feel something at least.
Yeah, you obviously will have a connection because something will, whatever the music is, you'll have something pop in your mind. It doesn't matter what's behind it. It's like if it's just instrumental for the time being, you'll have some connection with it. But when there's vocal along with it, you'll start to connect with the
Person
singer.
singing, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. So there are always like going to be elements of different kinds of music kind of blended into that. And like that's what makes you feel emotional about it too.
Yeah.
Hmm. I think there was also a theory, this like kind of going off topic a bit, like but also going like when people talk about color, I've always like thought that like you see a certain number of colors throughout your life, right? Like that bag over there is purple, that handle over there is purple.
Yeah.
So throughout your life, like you see everything in different colors. So I feel like
That spectrum will change
right,
as well.
like colors that are most prominent in like different times of your life are probably going to stick in your brain at least a little bit.
So you
It's like
can
when you
associate like color you look at color like you listen to music, and you enjoy different colors together while you enjoy different sounds.
Exactly.
Together.
Like, what's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Yellow. So, why do you think it's yellow? Like, do you just like the way it looks in a certain setting, or is it something other than that?
I don't know. I think it's bright and it's a nice color. I like it a lot.
Yeah. And like I enjoy like the brightness, but like yellow isn't my favorite color. Even
Yeah.
though like I like it, it's just not my favorite color out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a difference, even though we both agree that it's bright and happy.
And
So,
that might be why we enjoy looking at paintings so much, because it's a whole bunch of different colors everywhere, and your eyes enjoy looking at it. Like
and
it
not only
enjoys
that,
listening
yeah,
to music.
not only that, but like the artist creates it with the intention of blending different colors, different emotions together in a way that they think will make other people feel differently.
Yeah.
You're trying like. All I remember out of my art class is like, when you have a painting, the first thing that they go to is the center, and then you work your way out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, when your music, you kind of want to have the most dramatic point not be too soon, because if it happens too soon, the listener will not want it. And then if it's at the very end, you just won't. People are tedious and they don't want to wait for it. Even if it's really good, and you listen for the whole song, probably 8 out of 10 times people won't listen to that song if it's at the very end where the climax is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the tension going up for the first time would be fun. But then once you knew that it was just building up to that for the one end, it wouldn't really do anything. Is that a musical instrument?
This is a boom wacka.
A boom wacka.
And you've also got
With the different
a
pitches.
guiro. There's a guiro in here. And
We're
you
just
got a
trying.
shaker.
I remember, I believe his name was Kaylin Haney, Cade's older brother.
Mhm.
He was a killer player for the percussionist. That was his best instrument, though. The shaker.
Mhm.
You got
Dang.
something.
All right. Well, so do we have like a writing prompt or an item for this episode?
There was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Like
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
we didn't finish the whole thing about like the effects on like human, like the brain.
Yeah.
Just like the psychology of it, because like we talked a lot about.
All right. Well, goodbye, Luke.
Bye, Luke. Okay, Luke's leaving.
Yeah, I gotta go take a swig of something.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Mouthwash. It's like
Right.
after practice, my mouth gets dry and everything tastes funny,
Mhm.
and I don't know why.
Yeah. I'm
All
gonna
right.
go take a swig of apple juice. Okay.
All my apple juice is at home, and let me tell you,
man.
when I got home from that half day yesterday, I drank about a whole damn gallon of it.
You took that yellow straw and you just plunged it right in.
Yeah. All right. So psychological effects on the brain.
Okay, so yeah, well, like, so the feeling of like euphoria, right? Like common in drugs and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that's
there's
made
stuff here.
when drugs they like hook onto parts of the brain that release dopamine, and then that causes you to feel good. So if that concept could like be applied to music, like certain climaxes and certain moments of your life that induce dopamine would obviously like come back when you listen to that same music.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what are your thoughts on that?
I think that does relate to like music being a drug, and that like dopamine is released when you hear music because it's enjoyable, but like it can also be bad for you when you listen to like minor key music.
Like listening to Linkin Park like for
But,
5
like,
straight hours.
If you're in a bad mood, you want to listen to that.
Right, and somehow that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you feel sad when you listen to that music, and then when you feel sad again and you listen to that same music, like even though you feel sad, there's also a good feeling of going back to something familiar and like being able to kind of
Yeah.
revel in that. So I think that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. So, writing prompt.
Writing prompt,
Or item,
I
or-
might have a writing prompt. I didn't come prepared with one, but I do have a writing prompt book.
So at the end of every episode, we either do like a writing prompt or an item. We haven't really fully decided yet. It's only the sixth
Yeah.
episode.
Let's see.
Huh. So
Let's say, can beauty be found in chaos, and how do you describe chaos? I feel like that's pretty fitting.
oh yeah, that could be like a whole podcast question.
That's a good one.
That-
We're not.
that could-
I feel like I don't want to. We could talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
that,
try to
that
put
could go
our
back
own
to
spin
like
on it.
our first ever episode about anarchy.
Oh my god, that episode was.
We don't condone
We don't-
anarchy.
we don't
condone
condone anarchy.
taking over elementary schools. That is not a thing we want. We don't condone the overthrow of government. We're just people talking.
Yeah, we just have opinions on things.
Yes.
I don't even remember like half of the things that we talked about during that.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Would you
Hello.
like to come in? We're doing a podcast.
Highly intelligent.
Yeah, this
Yep.
is highly intelligent. We have a second guest here.
Oh,
This
wow.
is Tim.
Tim, may I say you look
Hey.
snazzy tonight?
Thank you.
You wanna say hello?
Hello. Will this make me famous?
We're reaching the end of our episode, and we're about to start talking about this topic. Can beauty be found in chaos, and how would you describe chaos?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm not sure.
We're putting you on the spot. So sorry about that.
Well, I mean, depends on what kind of chaos, you know?
Yeah.
Like, explosions. That can be described as chaos, but it can also be beautiful, you know?
Yeah,
like
going back to like the colors thing we saw.
Or like supernovas, you know? They
Yeah.
cause mass destruction, destroy a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but they're really pretty from like
Yeah.
telescope distance.
Yeah. So I guess you can find beauty in chaos.
Yeah, but like,
And-
what is it about? Like, is it just going further away and like looking at it in a bigger
Do
picture?
you guys know where the choir is?
No, I
I
do
do
not.
not.
Because nobody else is here.
Well, it's still. I mean, it's 6:30. It's not.
Yeah.
I feel like there's
well,
still people on their way.
I think that's all the time we have for. We're almost reaching half an hour, which that's like pretty long for us.
Yeah, that really is.
So
So we're gonna end it here.
thanks for listening to Highly Intelligent. I'm
You're
Jared,
I'm Kalen. This is
Uh,
Tim.
Hi.
and you'll listen to us next episode.
Love you.
See you
Bye.
next week. Bye for now.